7th, 2023, Public Utility Commission meeting. Roll call, Charles is present,
Present, yes.
myself, Mike, and Patrick. Missing is Bill, but he may show up, I'm not sure, but, okay. Approve consent agenda. We have meeting minutes and payments report. Charles, do you have?
I do not have any.
I don't think there's any meeting minutes in here, guys.
Oh, there is none, yeah, that's
We'll
right.
do them next month.
It's been a couple months.
We missed two.
Yeah.
Been a couple months.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have payment report.
Right.
If you have any items you want to pull
No,
out of that.
I didn't see anything super extraordinary. Mike, anything that deserves pointing out, Mike, that you know?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Then, the only item on the agenda that we have is water plant. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, do we have a motion to approve the payment report?
Moved?
Okay, I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Moving down to the item on the agenda is water plant roof replacement quotes. This is the water plant that is located down by our pumping station, our water station.
We started this project last year, and there was some funding that we were allowed to spend on water and wastewater infrastructure as part of the pandemic relief. And didn't get to doing the project last summer, and so we've picked it up again and refreshed the quotes and would like to spend the money on replacing the roof on the water treatment plant. And it's ready for replacement. So please accept the quote from A.W. Kettle for $31,311.
And is this still pandemic money we'll be able to use?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it was already provided to us. We set it aside for this purpose. We just haven't spent it yet.
Yeah. How long, what are those roofs good for? How many years? Depends, right?
I'm sure that
till-
one's been 30.
Has it?
Yeah, that's a flat membrane roof with
Ballast.
ballast material on it, gravel on it.
Yeah.
So that's to redo all the way down to the membrane?
Includes the membrane, right?
Yep.
Yep, remove and
Includes the
dispose of the membrane.
And it's a new revised bid from on
Yeah.
5/7/23. Okay.
So
Probably
it'll
went
be
down, right?
A new membrane,
I'm sure.
reballasted with the same material, and
Okay.
they're giving a 15-year manufacturer warranty.
Okay. And when do they plan on starting this project? Or it'll be done this summer?
This summer. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Actually, did it go down? It looks like it did go down. The price went down. Because on the February 28th, it says 38,700, and on the
Well,
new
that's a
one.
different company's bid.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
It did not go down.
Okay. Well, I don't see any reason.
Air Park, they're in Duluth, okay. All right. Well, do we have a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
Okay. I will second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So a motion passes to approve the A.W. Kettle and Sons quote of $31,311 for replacing the roof on the water treatment facility.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Say, just not exactly related, and maybe it's because not on the, well, you tell me, but I have been seeing a lot of stuff about the Infrastructure Act and a lot of money available to smaller communities. And one of the things I noticed, I mean, among many that seemed like it might apply to Grand Marais, was money for burying power lines. And I know from talking to Jeff that that's of interest around here. So,
Yeah, we do it quite often.
yeah, but it's, the idea, I think, with this infrastructure, it's either the Infrastructure Act or the Inflation Reduction Act, but one of the two. And the idea is this is going to help with sort of emergency preparedness or sort of climate change mitigation, big storms, but you're less susceptible to damages if your power lines are buried than if they're up in the air. Anyway, I'm just curious, again, I don't know if this is the right venue for this, but I'm just curious if you know of anybody tracking this or saying, yeah, we'd take some money for that.
Other than us, I'm not aware of anybody. Yeah,
Us, right here.
us right here.
Yeah. Yeah, it just seems like, shoot, I mean, if that's available, we should jump on it, I think. And I
Yeah,
guess it would.
sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Arrowhead would also, or Simpa, but I'm quite sure there's money, well, not 100%, but I'm quite sure there's money earmarked for smaller communities to be burying power lines. So,
We can talk to Simpa about it at the meeting next week.
yeah,
I don't think they would directly be involved. Their transmission lines, they don't bury those
Right.
for the most part, but
right.
other cities might be looking at this project.
Yeah, true, true.
Could be funded.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it'd be smart to be checking that out. What's next week with Simpa?
Just their regular monthly meeting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, seems, and I think it's one of these deals where it pays to get your ticket in early,
Yeah.
because at some point the money runs out. Anyway, just a thought. Related to public utilities affairs.
Directly.
Mm-hmm. But
Okay.
apart from that, I have no other
Um,
comments.
For old business, I don't think I have anything other than bringing maybe Charles up to speed. As far as the wastewater treatment plant, we had a conversation last city council meeting where we were presented with the overall revision of the whole plant, and I think that's when we were, instead of going ahead and starting to work on the odor, just that piece of the plant, we're putting it into the whole concept of the redoing certain aspects of the whole plant.
Right.
And so, if that helps with, obtaining monies for the wastewater plant, which we don't know yet how that's working out, but it got put into that instead of just going out and doing that and then coming back and piecemealing the other stuff together. So that's the point that we took, because we were gonna actually start construction on that odor piece of it this
Well,
summer.
You had talked about that with AE2S earlier this year. The report the council received was virtually the same as the last time when AE2S presented the entire
Yeah,
facility renewal plan to you. That's the strategy, that all those improvements are included together as a package to go out and seek funding.
So what happened at city council that was different than what we discussed here?
We saw the presentation at city council that
Yep,
we saw.
yep.
And so that was presented to us, so that's kind of like, so that's where that's off to them right now.
Okay.
I don't
City-
think it's different than the last conversation you had with AE2S, but it is different than the first conversation you
Right,
had with
it's
them.
different than the first conversation. Because
Yeah.
at first we were gonna we approved, a spending to do that, and then now we're just kind of folding it into.
For the odor control.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the second presentation was more like, well, let's talk about a more comprehensive plan, things that need to get replaced, maybe not
Right.
immediately, but they
Soon.
Yes.
Soon, yeah, so right now it's, they have it, and that's what they're running with it now to see.
City council.
No, AE2 is doing their part of it. Now, the city council just saw the presentation that we saw.
Yeah.
They
here.
needed to hold a hearing on it.
Right.
As a part of our submittal to the state for state funding requests.
I see.
Right.
So it's
And-
been submitted federally, it's on the earmarks bill on both of our state senators' versions of the bill, so
Nice.
that we're just waiting to see how that plays out. We're also submitting it to the state for all the funding programs that they have, which hopefully will be where some of the new federal money will get fed as it goes through the state into their existing grant programs.
Does this have to wait till the next legislative session?
It's in current federal session. I don't know where the
Federal.
schedule is.
But
Yeah.
state has concluded theirs.
State, it's not a part of the legislative
Oh, I see.
process. It's actually just a part of the state's administrative.
Oh.
They have grant programs that exist that
I
are
see.
funded already by the
I see.
legislature, so.
Yeah, good. And again, maybe, I don't know if the infrastructure bill has anything to do with that kind of infrastructure.
I think it does. I think there
I
are
think it
programs
should.
where that federal money, when it gets given to the states, a lot of it is fed into their existing
Oh, I see.
grant programs.
So it comes through the feds to the state administers it.
Yeah.
Is there like a grant chaser person within the city? Is that you? Who
Not
is it?
only is there not within the city, but it's hard to find them anywhere,
Yeah,
particularly with all the new money.
yeah.
And we've been chasing one.
For
some
chasing a
time.
grant chaser?
Yeah, AE2S has a pretty good program with someone who has done a lot of this grant seeking work and has pretty good knowledge on it.
Yeah.
LHB is also beefing up their capacity to do this as well, and
Yeah.
we're working with both firms right now.
In other words, they would be providing that sort of assistance to
Right.
Marais. Yeah. Yeah. Because it's just, especially right now, it seems like there's a lot of money sitting out there. And knowing where it is and how to get at it, it would be really smart. Yep. So,
I've made a few suggestions to companies that'd be a good business model. I mean, this is not new. Many engineering companies have been at this for a long time,
right,
writing grants to do projects,
Right.
because that's how they make their money too.
Yeah.
right. Yep. Okay, good. Well, so the thing with the wastewater plant, it's in process. Is there actually work scheduled at this point?
No.
No.
The tentative schedule would be, though, that we could start next year if these funding opportunities come around,
Okay.
so.
So but I had thought that there was push and possibility of getting work done on the odor side of it even this summer, but not. Huh?
There could be, I mean, we could do some of those pieces separate from the rest of it, but they're enough money that it made sense to include them in our ask
Mm-hmm.
instead.
Mm-hmm. So wait and see if
Yeah.
the money comes through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've also done quite a bit of work with with AE2S on what the issue is with odor.
Right.
And a lot of the issues we can attempt to manage operationally. That's, the ongoing struggle as well.
Yeah.
So where does the smell come from? When does it occur? How do we try to
Right.
avoid it when possible?
Right.
And so far, so good this year.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, weather stays cool and the winds are in the right direction. We're good.
That's the hard part. The riskiest time is when our biosolids that are in the storage tanks, like that's the clean water's gone, this is what we have left.
Right.
And we either haul it all to Duluth, which means we pump it into trucks and that can create odor,
Yeah.
or we try to give it some time to settle and decant the cleaner liquid off and refeed it into the plant, have less to haul to Duluth. But it takes a couple of days to settle, and it could create smells during those days, and we can't predict the weather direction very effectively 3 days out sometimes, so
Mhm. Yeah.
it's tough.
Yep.
And that's what we would hope the granular activated carbon filters would be able to help with that.
Right. But again, those would not be in place until next year,
Next
probably
year.
at the
Next, yeah.
earliest.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. If, if, uh, if, 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 we get a bunch of no's on funding requests, we might change course again on that, but.
Just go ahead with it, yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay,
Okay.
thank you for the update.
Guess that's all I have. I mean, all the business we have today, so I guess, make a motion to adjourn?